What's up, guys? Guggen Barbecue here, and today we're going to cook a New York strip roast. I went to the grocery store and I was looking for a prime rib roast, and they didn't have any on sale. But this was on sale for $9.95 a pound at Publix, so I thought I'd give it a shot, and I am not disappointed. So if you guys are looking for something different to cook, definitely check this out. But look at that beautiful color. And if you want to know how to cook this, stay tuned and follow along. Let's get this strip loin all seasoned up. I'm using 16 mesh black pepper, coarse kosher salt, and some garlic powder. And that's it. We're going to keep it really simple. Let's open up this package and see what it looks like. Now this meat is from Publix. It's got some marbling in it. Looks pretty good. And while the strip loin can be a little bit better than your traditional prime ribeye roast, just because there's going to be a lot more of the tenderloin in this meat. So it's going to be really nice and tender and really flavorful. All right, let's go ahead and we're going to season it up. And we're going to do some salt first. You can be really liberal because it is a big piece of meat, so keep that in mind. And you're going to get a lot of extra flavor from that salt. Don't forget those sides, guys. This 16 mesh by Fiesta is really good stuff. It has a different flavor than what you usually get from like the normal grocery store. And I picked this up from Academy. They have a lot of good seasonings for a really good price. So I tend to go there quite often for all my seasonings and any other barbecue needs. And then the final step for seasoning is going to be our garlic powder. That's looking fantastic, guys. Let's get this New York strip loin on the pit. To monitor temperatures, I am going to use my Meter Plus. It's just a really easy way to wirelessly monitor your temperatures. So we're going to stick this probe into the thickest part of the strip loin, like so. And we're going to pull this when it gets to an internal temperature of 125 degrees. Now for the pit temperatures, I'm going to shoot for 275 throughout the entire cooking process. Right now we're about 230 and it's climbing. The pit's still getting warmer, but it's going to settle right around 275. So let's get this on the pit now. And I'm going to do fat cap up, because the way the offsets work with the convection is the heat comes from the firebox and it raises and it comes up over the top of the meat and then goes and exits out the exhaust. So I'm hoping that a lot of this is going to render and it's going to kind of protect the meat in here, because underneath it, it's going to be a little bit of cooler temperature just based on the convection. It's time to add another piece of wood to the fire and get that temperature back up. Let's go ahead and do that. So I like to keep my wood up here. It just kind of preheats them and they seem to catch a lot quicker, and it prevents fire from putting a lot of smoke inside the cooking chamber. So I do recommend you preheat your wood before you go ahead and add it into the fire. Let's take a look and see what's going on inside this firebox first. Yeah, so we've got a piece that hasn't caught fully, and we have some really good coals. I'm going to kind of move things around and kind of smash up any of the wood into some big coals, and then we'll throw another piece on there. So you really want to break these up with your fire poker. That's going to keep your fire bed really good, so when you add a piece of wood to it, it's going to catch really quick. This one hasn't quite burned down enough yet, but it's getting there. We've got really nice coals, so that looks really good. All right, let's go ahead and add a piece of wood on here. And it should catch in just a minute. There we go, we got a flame in there, and I'm going to keep this box open a little bit just to keep this going until it really ignites, and then I'll close it. That's looking pretty good. That should get our temperatures back up to 275. It's been about an hour. Let's check on the meat and see what it looks like. That's looking really good. Yeah, the fat's turning yellow, starting to render, but it's got a long way to go. It's at an internal temperature of about 80 degrees now, and again, I'm going to pull this off when it hits 125. So we'll just keep it going and we'll check back in a little bit. The meter plus just alerted me that our meat has hit an internal temperature of 120 degrees. Let's just spot check this with our Thermapen and just make sure it matches before we pull it off and then throw it on the side burner to sear it. So deep in there, it still says 107 degrees. Let me see if I can turn it so you guys can see it in the camera. $118, $117, $120, $122, $109, $108. Yeah, so we still got some time left. So you got to be careful with these meter pluses because they only go in so far, and that's why it's always handy to have a Thermapen or any type of instant read thermometer. Just kind of probe around and see how it's doing. So I'm going to push this meter plus in a little bit and see if we can get more of an accurate temperature. And then once it does really come up to 120 inside the middle, I'm going to go throw it on our side burner and give it a nice sear, quick sear. All right, it's been another 10-15 minutes. Let's check on the internal temperature of our New York Strip Loin. Yeah, but that says 125, 125. All right, let's pull this off. I'm going to let it rest for a few minutes, and then we're going to sear it off on each side, just for about a minute on each side, just to get that nice charred look. Ooh, that's hot. All right, guys. And take a look at that. It's looking pretty good. It definitely needs a little bit of a sear on it, but I think it's going to be delicious. So I'm going to target 135 internal after we get it on that sear station. But right now I'm going to let it cool down a little bit so we don't heat it up too much when we throw it on that sear burner. Check out this sear station on this pits and spits offset. So if you lift up this, got some beautiful looking coals there. Those are going to be piping hot. Let's stick our New York strip roast on here and get a good sear. I'm going to start with fat cap down so it can kind of render some of that hasn't rendered out yet. And then we'll flip it over after about a minute, minute and a half, and get the other side. Oh yeah. Listen to that sizzle, guys. And I'm just pressing it down a little bit to try to get some of those sear marks because this metal is so hot. So it's about time to check this internal temperature after we had that grease fire go up, flare up. Still 123, 124 in the middle. I'm going to move this over a little bit more towards the middle again. And you just want to be careful with those flare-ups. And you can just keep flipping it as well. You don't have to let it sit on one side and let that side get really gray on the, close to the edge. Just keep flipping it. It's been, about 30, 45 seconds. Well, I'm shooting for medium, so let's pull that off before it gets any more done. We let our strip roast rest for about 20 minutes. Let's slice into it and see how we did. And I'm just going to make, about pencil-sized slices here. Oh man, look at that, guys. I think that came out absolutely perfect. Let's slice off one more and we'll give it a taste test. And Bixby is actually awake from her nap, so she'll also get one as well. So we'll put her on camera. Look how beautiful that is. Oh my gosh, guys. All right, let's slice off a little piece for me and a little bit for Bixby. That's for me. We'll get one for Bixby. We'll get rid of that excess fat for her. And obviously, I'm going to take the first taste test here. So let's see what this guy tastes like. Oh my gosh. I'm going to say that's amazing. I think it is a little better than the prime rib that I cooked last year for Thanksgiving. So if you guys haven't seen this before, I haven't. I went to Publix and I went looking for a prime rib roast, and they weren't on sale yet, but this was on sale for $9.99 a pound. So I had the butcher cut it for me into about a 4-pound roast. Yeah, guys, it's a winner for me. I mean, I would have no complaints having this compared to a prime rib roast. I highly recommend you guys check it out. And now it's time for Bixby to get a taste. So let's go. Here's Bixby. All right, it's time for her taste test. Let's see if she likes it. Come here. Oh, well, she's a dingo, so of course she likes it. Good job, Bixby. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked the video. And if you did, consider subscribing. We'll see you in the next one.